This is the Symposium podcast with E. Wright and Romero.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the Symposium podcast. On the other side of the chair, let the people know who you are, sir.
All right, y'all, welcome back. I go by the name E. Wright. Thank you for joining us here on today's episode. Kick it back to you, my man.
You know what it is? Winter Coat Rome's in the building. This might be the last episode for Winter Coat Rome's. Just might. And in the middle, we have a very special guest. Sir, will you tell the people who you are?
Micah Mytling.
Micah Mytling is in the motherfucking building. We've been trying to get him on here for a good minute. He's finally graced us with his presence. Thank you for coming aboard,
Thank you for having me.
So,
Glad to be here.
as always, we have some water this time around. You got no cups, no special nothing. But to my man, to the people, you're too far, but welcome to the party.
Yeah.
All right, so do a quick check-in. How you doing, sir?
I'm well. I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. Just, chilling.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure this. We'll tell that story a little later, but
Okay.
gotta make sure my neighbors don't kill me after this. Road beefing with the neighbors.
No.
But no, I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. We'll get into it. But no, I'm good. I just need to calm down.
I wish I had the microphone on that.
Yeah, so you can catch everything.
Because it was rolling.
Nothing bad happened.
No.
It's just
It was just fun.
No, it wasn't.
It could have.
No, it was fine. Mr. Mytling, how are you, sir?
I'm alright, man.
Good.
Can't complain.
Alright.
I mean, I can't, but I won't.
That's the best we can do, brother.
Welcome to the show, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
We are too. Now, before we get into anything else, this is a very special month as we usually celebrate. You want to tell the people what's going on?
It's International Women's Month.
See.
Correct. So yeah, shout out to all of y'all, man.
Shout out to all the ladies. I should make this known. So since we started, the ratings for women has gone up. We're now at like 33, 34%. So women are listening. Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate you. So that being said, should we get into some news?
Got it, bro.
Okay. First and foremost, I'm just gonna do this off the rip. First thing to talk about, as you know, Ukraine and Russia, they're still going at it.
Mm-hmm.
Prayers to Ukraine and everybody that is in the midst of that conflict. It's a very unfortunate situation. On a different note, what's going on here in America, gas is too high, sir.
Yeah, it is.
Way too high. I saw gas at like $4. I never paid for gas. Never paid so much for gas in my entire life. That's ridiculous.
You all see that meme that's circulating around where gas is higher right now than it was in the movie I Am Legend?
No.
They got like the picture of the movie, like where the gas was at in the movie, and the gas next to it. Yeah, it's high as fuck.
No, I did not see that. All right. Yeah, gas is ridiculously high. Y'all go out and try to save your chips as much as you possibly can. Get you a little jug. Outside of that, keep it a little lighter. For all the nerds out there, new Dragon Ball Super movie is coming out. Dragon Ball Super Hero, and that'll be coming out April 22nd. Be on the lookout for that. Lord knows I will. And last but not least, the Batman movie. Anybody see that yet?
I have not.
No? No? Neither have I. Been too busy. But I've been hearing good things. A lot of good ratings.
I heard it was long though. But
Is it?
I heard it was long, but I did hear it was. Heard it was pretty good.
Okay.
So.
You gonna see that in theaters?
Oh, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Not even a question. Other than that, that's all that I really got. E, you got any news?
Nah, let's keep it light today.
Alright, that sounds good to me. So, that being said, we're gonna move right on. let's just dive into it. Micah Mytling,
What up?
my
How's it
man.
going?
For those of you who don't know, I did say earlier that we were trying to get Micah to come on for some time. I've known this man for over a decade. I've seen him go from a young boy to a young man, and then to a man.
All across the board,
All
man. You've
across
seen
How
it all.
long have y'all known each other?
Oh God.
No one had been friends, because I known like Rose since like I was like probably like 16.
Oh,
friends
yeah.
since I was like probably like
20?
yeah,
19, 20?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a minute.
When we really hit it off was when we started going out to all the bars and clubs, like when I was 21.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rose like my sensei in that respect. He kind of brought me out and showed me the ropes.
So Micah used to be a lifeguard, right?
Oh yeah.
And every so often we would go out.
Sally's.
Yeah. So we would go to Sally's Saloon way back when, and we'd be doing the damn thing. I'd be chilling, I'd be talking to someone, but the next thing I know, I hear a whistle blowing from a distance.
Oh, a lifeguard whistle?
Yeah, a lifeguard whistle. And then I look, and it'd be Micah on the fucking dance floor just going, doo, 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 doo. I'm like, okay.
I got shut down by security a number of times. Dude, I was kind of a douchebag though. I'd had a faux hawk going on, and I had long sideburns, and then I got these stud earrings that I thought looked cool. They were not. They were like from Claire's. They were like $20. And then I would wear my yellow lifeguard uniform and my little yellow whistle, and then show up to the club or the bar, and then just pull it on the dance floor. Security hated it, but it was a good time. It was a good time.
Man did not care.
Yeah, definitely not.
It was a good time.
Tom Collins for days.
Oh my God, I forgot about those. But life is different now. It is very, very different. Will you tell the people what you do now?
Yeah, so I run a small moving company here in Minnesota, and then I'm part founder, part co-founder of 4 other dudes for an investment firm. Yeah.
Big deal. Specifically, you are an investor in the digital space, talking about crypto.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Now, how long have you been doing that?
2017.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I was in South Korea, and my wife's South Korean. We met in New Zealand, and I was over there, and I did not know what to do with my life at the time.
Uh-huh.
And I was hanging out, I was drinking too much, and I had a couple rough nights, and I was like, what am I doing with my life here? Because I was having a hard time making money over there. And the only thing you can do to make money over there is teach English.
Yeah.
And I was really struggling. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to look into trading.
Yeah.
Day trading again, because I met a lot of guys in my travels, and that's kind of how they made their money.
Okay.
But I was like, I'm going to look into trading, and that led me back to Bitcoin, and that was right before Bitcoin's big run up in July of 2017.
Okay.
So that's kind of what got me back into it, and then I've just kind of been riding the roller coaster ever since. Yeah.
And you and I, we've had many conversations. I've seen when you've been up, I've seen when you've been down, I've seen when you've been so up, it's been a government secret.
Yeah.
But you've done pretty well for yourself, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm hanging in there.
So, how did you get into crypto? Like, just how did you get into investing?
That was the moment. In South Korea, I moved over, I think maybe so I used to never talk about numbers. That was one thing where I just never talked about numbers because I was just money does weird things. Talking about numbers and stuff, it just has weird reactions on people, and I've always been very aware of that.
Yeah.
But at that point, so I'm gonna be very honest about numbers and this whole thing, this whole podcast, just to be frank with you guys, because I've kind of changed my view on that lately. But yeah, so I put in $250 into it, and then that eventually was $750. And then when I got home, I went to the bank. So I was there in South Korea for a month. I went to the bank. I was like, give me a loan. They gave me 5 G's. I walked out of the bank, put that all in the crypto, and I lost all of it within I don't know, probably 2 months.
This was back in 2017.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was a lot of money for me. We were dead broke, man.
Right.
And I was very confident in my abilities. I paid for an education.
Right.
That's what I did. That money was an education, and I learned the hard way. I blew up an account like right off the bat. But it lasted me for a minute. It just, we can talk about that later. But you make one bad mistake and that compounds. And if you're not careful, that one bad mistake can just like lead to a series of bad decision, bad decision, bad decision, bad decision.
Is it just like a habit that you pick up? Like if you don't correct it, you're just gonna keep going down that road?
What happens is you get emotional.
Okay.
So you make one bad decision, you get emotional about that bad decision, and then you're out for revenge. You're like, no, I need to like make this fucking money back. By the way, is it okay if I swear? Can I Okay, cool. Just checking. So you make one bad decision, and then you're like, okay, now I need to make that money back.
Yeah.
Plus some, because I'm angry now. And but then you're not thinking clearly. Then you're making trading decisions not based on the market or anything. You're based on you have a bias in your head. You're looking for anything that you think can make you money, and that just sets you up. Mm-hmm. And then from there, you're just making bad decisions, and that leads to more bad decisions. And you just end up feeling like an absolute piece of garbage. Each time you fail, you get angrier and angrier and angrier. It just spirals.
Sure. You got a question?
No. I'm just like trying to take it on because like that when we talked about that before, it was like that's why I'm like afraid to get into like bad decision, but that's why I'm just kind of taking it in. It's kind of
With what you just said, that's something that I wanted to ask you too, because a lot of investors, myself included, like when I first got in, I just dived right in.
Yeah,
but
that's good.
Yeah, but I've made some mistakes, and because I made one, we'll say, bad mistake, I got emotional.
Yep.
And I remember you always telling me it's like a lot of people in the market, they make their decisions off of emotion. Why is it always that? Why is it off of emotion and not so much like having a logical strategy?
I think it's the idea of money, right? Like we all have this idea, this Instagram idea in our heads, right? Where you pull up your phone and you look at somebody out in, some nice country or on a beach somewhere, and they're just living the life, right? They got the girls, they got the money, and they have the lifestyle.
It's like, what do they do though?
Yeah.
How did they get this
Exactly.
money?
Yeah. And it's like you see that and you want that, and you want like when you sit down with an idea or a business plan or small business, whatever, trading, in your mind, that's what you're envisioning the outcome to be, right? You're envisioning yourself making money, making wads of cash, having the girls, the lifestyle that you want, but you're not there. You're somewhere like miles and miles away from that. And those little mistakes, they're just taking you farther away from that goal, and it just compounds. It's a very emotional thing to it, like it really like hits home, because a lot of us we're trying to make that money because we want something and also want to get away from something. Maybe it's our current lifestyle, maybe it's the way that we're living, maybe it's like whatever problems or issues you have. You're looking for a solution, and you also have this vision that you have that you want. So it's very easy for your emotions to get all fucking mixed up in there.
Sure. So then, let's say I'm an investor, right? And I've been making moves off of my emotions. I'm down bad.
Yeah.
Like I'm down. How do I make the correction? Like what are the steps? What would I have to do? Not necessarily to be up in terms of my finances, but it's more to get out of the mindset of like, okay, I want the cars, I want the girls and all that stuff. It's like I can't think that way if I'm going through this right now.
Here's the thing. This is the catch, man, especially with trading. It's one of the only jobs out there where you can make money and still be pissed and feel like a fucking failure. So it's like you're kind of set up both ways. Like if you lose, you're fucking upset with yourself, and if you win, sometimes you're even like upset with yourself. There's been a lot of times where like I'll be up 2-3K, but I know in my head, like if I just played it like just slightly different, I could be up 20.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm down 17K. Even though I'm up 3K, I'm still looking at myself going, like, I just lost $17,000.
Damn.
Right? So you can still be up. And I know that's a really weird concept to think
But
about.
I understand. No, that makes complete sense, though.
But you can be just as angry, and that can lead, even when you're up, you can still be just as mad and be making bad decisions even when you're up. So you're kind of like, you got it from both sides, where it's like, whether you're down, or whether even sometimes when you're up, you have to manage those emotions. And the way that you do that is big picture. everything has to come back to big picture and also taking out numbers. So not looking things in terms of like cash, but in terms of percentages. Just for everything, for your personal growth, for money, for whatever you want to work on in life, for sex life, I don't give a fuck. Like,
sure,
whatever it is, you have to like see things in terms of percentages, not the end result of what you want. And then zoom out, big picture. Like, thing that's kept me going all through this whole time is just like, where do I want to be 5 years from now? Where do I want to be 10 years from now? Where do I want to be 20 years? And then like slowly progressing towards that goal.
Yeah.
And that helps you when you're looking at like the big picture and also tracking data, tracking every single move you weigh. Like if you work out, right?
Yeah.
You want to track your workouts so that 2-3 months into it, you can look back and see, okay, this is where I started. This is where I'm at. This is how much weight I'm up or down. These are how many reps I'm doing. And then you can kind of develop a picture and you can see trends and kind of like, you know, in January, I always crush it every January, but you know, in July, summer months, I'm not crushing it because I'm out with my friends and partying. So
I was gonna say, so
trends.
when you do see the trend though, like how do you adjust to it? Do you adjust to it or?
It takes a while to see them, but yeah, you have to.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
and that's hard too to adjust to those trends.
Yeah. Okay.
On that note, something that I was thinking about, I know you and I, we always talk about crypto and stuff. Now that Micah's here, can you give an insight as far as what's for you? You want to get into it, right? But you've had some hesitance. What have been the things that have been like, I don't know if I should do this right now for you?
Well, it's just the main thing is like, I don't want to lose my fucking money.
Yeah,
I'm
great.
But scared money don't make money, right?
It's true.
At the same time, so no, I just don't have enough info to, you know, like I can't go in it with confidence. Like I would just be like, all right, well, fuck it, let's just try this. If I'm like, I need to do more research on it, and I need to just like actually know what I'm like. Remember when the Doge shit?
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, you know, I dabbled in it for a second, but then I'm like, I don't really know what the fuck this is. I'm just
doing it, yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, you see where that went, right? So it's just kind of that I need to build that confidence and get that information, you know, which I do want to do, but you know, I just got to go about doing it. If that makes sense.
No, absolutely.
Just kind of hesitant with it.
Because that was the same thing for me.
I'm like 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah, I get that.
Well, unlike this motherfucker who just went out and got a loan, I don't know.
And lost it.
Yeah, but look where you are now. So, just what my man said right now, scared money don't make money. Like, I started with $450. And it grew, and then it went down, and I was down bad. And then I got my money back, and then some. But I took a gamble, even if it was just that small chunk of change.
Yeah.
And the reason that I bring that up is...
And it's just crypto you talk about?
Yeah, I should be clear. I'm talking about crypto.
Yeah.
Not just Bitcoin, there's all types of coins, tokens out there. Y'all can do your own research, do your due diligence. But what I noticed is everybody seems to have a certain amount of money that they'll invest, but it seems like the average that you want to put in is about $1,000.
Okay.
If you
to start, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have $1,000 on hand, that's a good starting point. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say any money is better than no money. So what I would say is like when you're trying to make money, right? There's only, for people that are on the bottom, there's only 3 or 4 or 5 ways that you can really make $1 million.
Yeah.
Right? So you can either save your way, you can work your ass off, save your way up. You can get into real estate. You can get into stocks, crypto investing, or you can start your own business.
Right.
That's like, if you're starting from the bottom without inheriting a lot of money, like that's the only way you're gonna make it to your first mil. And then what I would say is once you kind of pick your path, you gotta figure out like what am I doing? What do I like to do? Yeah. Where am I at? Like which one of those 5 things or 4 things do I naturally gravitate towards? Okay. And then pick a niche in that. Yeah. So for me, like with crypto, it was hard because crypto is just a big world, right?
Yeah.
Like anything with real estate, it's like there's apartments, there's townhouses, there's brokeraging, there's middlemaning. There's so many different ways to make money in real estate. You got to pick your spot, like what you want to focus on, just like anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And with crypto, that's what took me the longest to figure out. Was like, what am I good at? What's my style? Where do I want to niche myself into crypto?
Mm.
And once you find your niche, that's where you can find the money.
Yeah.
But it's about like, you kind of have to experiment and try different things and figure out, like, what do I like? What is my personality good at? Where am I at? And then kind of like filter out the rest. And then once you find something, throw everything you have into it. And that'll help lead you to making money down the road. And just patience.
Sure.
Just ride it up.
That was
Just
gonna
ride
be my
it up.
next.
Just
Like
patience.
how patient do you have to like just?
Dude, so patient.
Yeah, right.
So patient.
Yeah, like okay.
So patient, dude. And that's the hard thing, is because like I think again
Especially
we all
when
have
money
this
is
idea.
involved, like
Yeah.
I think I'm a patient person, but I'll probably get a little stressed out if I see that
Yeah.
shit keep going up and down.
And I've had to adjust my trading styles just based on that, because like I realized that like I don't do well in day trading.
Okay.
Like I don't do well like looking at the numbers every single night
Yeah.
and like just stressing out looking at it. I have to always see big picture and be like, okay, I'm gonna try to remove the emotion from this, find a couple projects that are really solid and I think they're gonna be there in 20 years.
So
And then constantly be investing in that, and then I can sleep at night.
can you break down day trading to me?
Thank you. I was just about to say, because there's a difference between
Right.
day
Yeah.
trading and investing long term.
Yeah. So day trading is where you're trying to make money today.
Oh, okay.
Just today.
Okay, so just
You're in and out.
and it's like so it's open at a certain amount of time, right? Or
Crypto's open 24/7. The stock market's open 5 days a week.
From
I think
like
our
9
time, it's like 9
to 5.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. So I mean, day trading. That term comes from the stock market, but you can still use it for crypto.
Oh, okay.
What's nice about the stock market is that you have a close. Like the stock market ebbs. Like there's the open, so people are all
Yeah.
like excited. They got their coffee in them. They just worked out. They're stoked.
Yeah.
So you get exactly. So you get that initial ride in the morning, and then things kind of die down around lunch, and then right before the close, that's when you get another pop. So you're trading times in the stock market in the morning
Yeah.
or right before the close.
Okay.
And that's where people go in and they have their goals of trying to make, like, I'm gonna take $1,000, I'm gonna try to make 5% of that.
Okay.
So I'm trying to make, or 10% of that. So I'm trying to make $100 off that $1,000. That's my today's goal.
Okay.
So that's what some people do for day trading with crypto. There's no open and close, so you don't get that relief.
Yeah.
It's just, the market's always open.
Yeah.
The casino's always there.
Right.
Mystic Lake.
Yeah.
So you can be there at 3:00 in the morning trying to make this stuff work. And that's the thing, is you can't make it work. You can't force the market to do what you want it to do.
Yeah.
You have to be patient and wait for the right opportunities.
Okay.
And sometimes people are just like, I want to make money today, but the market's like, nope. You have to wait on the market. And then there's also swing trading, which is like taking trades but trying to do it for a month or for a week.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a shorter time frame, but you're looking to try to okay, I think this stock is here, but in 2 weeks, I know there's going to be some news, and that's going to, I think, make it go higher. So I'm going to wait and buy now, and then in 2 weeks when this news comes out, then I'm going to sell.
Oh, okay.
So there's that stuff, and then there's long-term trading, which is more of what I do, which is you're buying something with the expectation that it's going to grow exponentially over 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years.
Okay, see, with that, one thing that there are some things that you shared with me in terms of strategy.
Yeah.
Because, just as I said, there are a lot of tokens, what would you say, tokens, coins.
There's a ton of them, and so many of them are garbage.
Yeah,
So many.
like you don't know what to invest in, right? And I
Yeah.
can see the hesitance of that. It's like, okay, I'm gonna invest my money in crypto, but where do I put my money? What does that look like? What's your criteria when it comes to investing? Like, what do you look at when it comes to investing into a certain token?
Yeah, I would look at it like you're investing into like a relationship,
Okay.
or investing into like a new car. So like you want to like let's say it's a car. You want to know like what features, what year is it, how many miles does it have on it, are there any like technical upgrades coming into it, stuff like that. So you wanna kind of think in terms of like just breaking it down and kind of, I mean, there's so many different aspects of the coins, but I would say you want to look at the people behind the project. That's crucial, because those are the guys that are spending their life and their blood and sweat and tears trying to make this thing happen. Yeah. So like just going on LinkedIn and just being like, who are these guys that are doing this? How many employees do they have? Are they actively hiring? If so, for what positions? Understanding like the basics, like you don't have to know everything about crypto. God knows I don't understand how half of it works.
Sure.
But like the first year in crypto that I got into it, I felt stupid every damn day. Like I just felt like a moron, because like I was trying to talk to people that just knew so much more about the space. Yeah. But I would just, anytime I didn't understand anything, just go to YouTube or look it up, go to Reddit. But I was literally just banging my head against the wall for like a year, just feeling stupid, because like I didn't understand any of it. I still don't understand a lot of things, and I'm investing in it. But just like trying to understand like who's actually using it, what is this thing actually like? What is the purpose or intent of this project? Right. And also, even if like one big red flag to me is if they have a really nice website, but I can't understand a single word on that front page. To me, that's a red flag. Okay. I want to be able to see in clear, plain English that anybody can understand what the vision is for this project. Yeah. That's important to me. But things like that, combinations of things, there's also technical details of like how many, like total supply, max supply, market cap. There's a lot of different factors that will make you want to invest, but you have to like break it down piece by piece by piece by piece, separate it all, and then just get the details. All the information. First, understand the terminology, then look at things in parts of like, this is how many employees they have. This is, what the application is supposed to be used for. Here's their plan for the future. But breaking everything like kind of like side by side and then comparing that to other coins. And then getting people's opinions and YouTubing, all that fun stuff.
Okay. Fair enough. I just had a question and I can't remember. Oh! So, you and I, we've talked about it. So crypto has been around since 2009, right? But now here in 2022, it's starting to be integrated into mainstream. Yeah. What has changed in over a decade for it to become this big? Because, what's the stadium in California?
The Lakers.
Yeah. So now Crypto.com, they bought a stadium. Yeah. Someone else bought another stadium too, that's crypto. So what's happening?
So much money, dude. These guys, these exchanges, they're just spending money left, right, and center. They got the real racket. They're making just money hand over fist. But
why is cryptocurrency suddenly becoming mainstream?
I think it's just been just a combination of just the last 10 years. I mean, the thing is that like you cannot have a future America, you can't have a future world, you can't have a future China without crypto. And I know that's like hard like to understand where we're at right now, but like a lot of the data, like, if you go on the internet or anything, you do anything, they all be talking like the cloud, right?
Yeah.
The cloud. The fucking cloud. Okay, well the cloud is a bunch of servers in like Denmark or some shit, right? It's a big room, has a bunch of servers in it. There's some guy named Frank in IT who runs around trying to fix everything, make sure that the servers don't go down. That's where like the pictures of your kids live. That you took, that you uploaded to Google, right?
Yeah.
They're in Denmark, Frank's looking after them, they're all in one spot. That's the fucking cloud. The thing is when you're trying to make, just when you were a kid, what do you envision the future to be like?
Oh my God. Eric, you got the best example, because you wrote something as a kid, remember that? You had an idea of what the future was.
Oh, yeah. Well, honestly, it's kind of weird, because it's already happened. Like I assumed it was like some Jetson type shit. You know what I mean?
You manifest.
Yeah, and we're kind of in.
This is it.
Like, But yeah.
Well, like just name out like one thing that you maybe thought that we'd have, or that we don't currently have, but that maybe you thought that we'd have.
A hoverboard.
Yeah,
Okay.
I definitely thought a hoverboard.
Anything else?
Electric cars, but that's happening.
Yeah, it is.
I
think flying cars. For me,
I was gonna say flying cars, but
cars, man.
I definitely was gonna say flying cars.
Right? or just like submersibles where they go underwater and
Yeah.
stuff, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I imagine when I was a kid, like, you know, thinking of the future. Okay, to have flying cars or everybody have hoverboards and stuff, you need to have everything interconnected.
Okay.
So, like right now, we have our cell phones, they're connected to 3G, 4G. To make things work, you know, have you guys seen, what's that movie? We were just talking about I Am Legend earlier, but Will Smith, iRobot.
iRobot, yeah.
Remember in that movie
That's
when they're
just
like,
happening. That's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
Soon,
You think so?
I think.
yeah. So you know, like the chains in
Yeah.
cars
Yeah.
when they're driving. He's just sitting there reading the newspaper,
Yeah.
and they're like, you'd be in a chain of car, and all of a sudden a car would swerve off.
Yeah.
Or like the army of robots. So to be able to have that at scale, that's not possible with Frank and the servers in Denmark. That's just not going to happen because you can't have that information and protect it and be able to have all the robots that we want, or all of the household robots cleaning our floors,
Right.
or the
Working
cars that are
cashiers,
driving,
yeah.
or all this interconnected stuff
Mhm.
that like everybody's talking about, the metaverse, everything being interconnected. The server system is just old technology. It's like VHS, CDs, like it's just antiquated in technology.
Yeah.
So that the next layer of that is blockchain, and what that is just instead of all of our stuff living on the servers with Frank, it would be on everybody's cell phone, everybody's laptop. All that information is everywhere all at once. So that way, if the servers go down, you know, doesn't matter because everything's, you know, it doesn't matter if there's blackouts. It doesn't matter if an EMP goes off and like half the world loses the internet for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna live somewhere else in somebody's phone, and it's all there all the time. And that's where you get the interconnectability, and you're able to do really cool things with medical work and ambulances and cars, self-driving cars and chains and all this crazy stuff. But you need to have that technology, and basically think of it as like 5G, 6G, 7G, the future of, you know, just what we use for our phones.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like the body in a way, and it's just another structure. Blockchain just integrates with that perfectly.
Okay.
So if you want to get your Amazon packages on time, like it's gonna be blockchain in the future, man.
Yeah.
Like that's how stuff is gonna be organized, tracked, protected, and moved around.
So going back to my question, cryptocurrency being mainstream,
Yep.
it isn't so much about money, but the technology itself. The technology has value.
Yep.
Somebody sees that
Yeah.
and they're like, okay, dollars.
Yes. Exactly.
Makes sense.
Yep. Precisely. And there's a lot of money anytime there's a new industry like the .com.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever. They're like, you know, the Industrial Revolution. There's always been made money around like new technologies that are coming up. But this is just the next wave. This is just the new servers, the new CD, the new VHS.
Okay, so I have a question. There's been a lot of talks about Web 3.0, right? Just conversations about the metaverse and things like that.
Fuck metaverse.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, and it seems like it's here,
Kind of.
but it's still new.
So is it still beta, in the beta form? Or what?
I want to say yeah, because, you know, when you hear the word metaverse, some people can get excited, but you can't really understand what it is,
Exactly,
right? It's
right.
like, what is it? Where is it?
that's why I
What's
hate
the
it.
space?
Yeah.
But it does exist
Kinda.
in certain ways. For example, Oculus, right? You know, the headsets. People.
That's the only thing I see it as. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see it as more than
Yeah.
which is weird, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's
I think that's one. Another one is, so there's this thing called Sandbox, right?
you know.
I don't know how to describe it. It's a video game where you create a character and you play like Minecraft. Think like Minecraft.
Okay. Yeah.
But the difference is you can live in there and you can make money just off of doing whatever in there. And they have their own sort of
Trippy.
system. Like they have tokens. They have tokens that you can make money off of.
So yeah, so I can live this life and be in a different life and still.
Correct.
Okay, let me trip
Yeah.
you up even further. What if right now
This is
you're in a metaverse and you're making money? There's another version of you, man, sitting somewhere else, and then that guy. I'm just saying.
So there's another version of me that's like this stupid motherfucker. motherfucker.
Exactly.
he thinks he's in control.
Exactly, man. It's your subconscious, baby.
So what is the hype around like 3.0?
I don't know, man. You're asking it wrong.
You're an investor.
Okay, 3.0, all it is, like, so Metaverse 3.0, two different things. 3.0, yeah, you're gonna hear that a lot. That is just the next kind of iteration of the internet. One way to think of it is like, okay, and this is kind of weird. I know a lot of people might not fully understand this, so I'm kind of being careful with my examples, but I'm trying to like think of something that's like the easiest thing I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, like have you guys ever built a website or like bought a website before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so that's that would be something that's like Web 2.0, where you're going to a third-party provider and then you're buying like the website domain and then you're hooking it up to whatever you want to plug into it, right? Web 3.0 is you don't need to go to that GoDaddy or that provider anymore. You can just build it right on the blockchain, and anybody can find it and go directly there, and it's just more integrated with everything seamlessly around it, with payment systems and all these things that we kind of use. It's just a little bit more fluid, a little bit more built in different ways than how the old internet has kind of been built on.
Okay.
And I don't want to get like too technical. There's a lot
No.
of bullshit, but like that's kind of like roughly the idea.
All right.
Metaverse, I don't even want to go there.
Yeah, I just don't understand it, man.
Dude, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it right now in its current state.
Well, I won't ask you any questions on NFTs because I know what you feel about that.
Chuck the water.
No.
It's about mental health, right?
Yes. Yeah. Which goes to my next thing. So Micah had some talking points. We have some talking points, but Micah texted me this morning and he was like, some talking points for you guys to rip off. Death, Adderall, psychosis, motivation, dopamine, how you can still make money in the market and feel like garbage, which we talked about, mental capital over financial capital. And the last one, why hoes are so important when it comes to making money.
I didn't know you were going to read this stuff off.
You just put them on the spot.
I want to rephrase that maybe a little bit differently. Which one do you want to touch on? The hose one?
I'll just play it. I'll just play it.
Can we take a quick
break? Yeah.
Yeah, I really need some water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to.
I was going to ask you, would you like to drink water?
Yeah,
I'll grab cups.
After these messages,
Sorry about that. I'm
we'll be
like,
right back.
dry as fuck. All right, water. Yeah, man. I'm like,
Now you're in it.
yeah. Like, I really was like scared.
I'm scared to open that bottle.
No, don't worry. I'm not a rookie. All right, we're back. Real quick before we do anything else, just so everybody knows, I have been doing a sober season. I have not been partaking in partying or drinking any alcohol for about 3 months now. It's something that I usually do. Today, I'm back on the sauce. It's been a good season, but now it's time to retire when it roams. So next time y'all see me, well, let's say after the next episode, Rose Gold will be back. But in the meantime, I regret nothing.
Then he was eye on.
No, I didn't. No, man, he's fine.
He literally just said, I'm worried about bro.
Why? Hold on. Out of all the times that I popped, why?
And I just had a feeling. What to do with those markets, you know what I'm saying? Get that money. Dude, I'm bummed I can't drink with you guys. It's my 9th day completely sober right now. It sucks.
That's okay. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
What brought that? If you can share.
No, I can't. I'm going to be completely open to this podcast. Okay, so 2 things happened. I lost a bit of money last week. Not a ton, but again, speak from the heart. And you can know all this stuff and still fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
I lost $5K last week. Well, 2.5.
Okay.
I lost 2.5. I made 5. I was up 2.5 on top of the 2.5 that I had, and I lost it all. because I made a really dumb, stupid, emotional decision, and I went to bed, and I slept on. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Anyways, so I've been taking Adderall now for about a year and a half.
Okay.
And I have been using it a bit too much.
Yeah.
And I haven't really been checking myself. I've known that I've been using it sometimes too much to check my emotions and just like when I want to check out or when I just want to work. But what happens is sometimes, we've all been there, right guys? Sometimes, you know, you're smoking a little bit of weed and you're up for 7 days on some Adderall and maybe some other shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just realized I was doing it too much. I was in Denver and somebody was talking to me and I was having a conversation and they're like, I was just overthinking and just rambling too much. And they were like, you know what to do. And I played it off and I was like, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But I went in the bathroom and I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, fuck, dude. Like, I'm down like 25 pounds from the Adderall.
Yeah.
And just stress.
Yeah,
you're not hungry at all.
Yeah.
Ever. And it's really good. Like, I'm very, very ADHD.
Yeah.
But Adderall is very, very addictive and it's very powerful. Drugs and making money, that's a whole other conversation which we should have. Anyways, but I realized that I was going too much. And I also had been having like some Adderall psychosis episodes.
Okay.
And I knew it was happening when it was happening. But I thought I was more in control than I was. But it just kept on getting worse and worse and worse to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't want my kid to have to like have this version. Even the benefits, there's benefits to being on Adderall. It just was not worth it anymore. And I really realized that. I had a heart-to-heart with myself. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. So I went home. I'm taking a break from booze, weed, nicotine, everything for 60 days. But Adderall, I'm done.
Okay.
Good for you.
Yeah. But it's been rough. I've been going through withdrawals. It's been rough.
Yeah.
It's been heat.
Well, I mean, everybody kind of has that. Well, I would like to think everyone, but there are those who have those moments where things go a little too far just by dabbling into something, and then
you just kind of lose that control.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, for me, that's why I even have these sober seasons. Though I'm an adult and I make better decisions, there was a time where young Romero you were with me.
Yeah.
You saw.
Yeah.
So now I kind of wonder, and that's something that I want to talk to you about as well. When it comes to being an investor, and you're focused on money, but you have this other part of your life that's going on. Like, how does that affect that other side?
Pressure, man. So like you just have to be on because like so I also run the moving company. I manage my own personal finances, and then I'm also part-time. I don't know even what to call myself, but founder, whatever, of this investment club group, whatever firm. And then I got a kid, a wife, and I'm trying to maintain like social arrangements or just social friendships, whatever. So when I do need to work, I need to work. And that's really, really hard. And that's where like I became too reliant on the Adderall because I'm like, okay, I got 4 hours. Right. I need to be as productive as possible. And it's not natural to be as productive as, it's just not natural, man, in a lot of different states. And one of the notes you were talking about Caveman Brain. It's one of the things I said. And that's where I was kind of talking, like referring to like our brains are just really simple computers, just plus and zeros. Positives, negatives. Back in the day, in caveman days, it was like shelter, fire, good, dinosaur eating you bad. You know? Like, that's what it was. In our modern day kind of like world that we live in, things have changed a lot, right? We don't have those big dinosaurs in our life, and we also have an abundance of things that kind of give us that dopamine click.
Yeah.
When it comes to making money, the hardest thing is our brain gets really confused in that, like, when you're trying to make money, or just do a school project, let's keep it simple. When you're trying to do a school project, you can maybe study for like 45 minutes to an hour, and then your brain, what happens? You know, you pull out your phone, you start going through Instagram, whatever your drug of choice is, Instagram, TikTok, right? Like you start scrolling, YouTube, whatever it is. And that throws you off, and then all of a sudden you start feeling behind. You're like, oh fuck, now I have to like catch up, or I need to like get back on top of it.
Yeah.
So when you're starting a business, like, and it's different than work, right? Because at work you have a structure, you have a job description, Somebody's telling you like, this is your job, this is what you do, this is your role. When you're doing anything in crypto, investing, business, you don't have that. You're making that. You're having to come up with that. Like you're building the car while you're driving it, right? So it's hard and pushing yourself past that point. And initially, like I'm very ADHD, but initially finding that motivation to push yourself past when you get that 45-minute hump or that hour-long hump, pushing yourself beyond that, that's really hard to do. Mm-hmm. So you got to find something that works for you that pushes you beyond that so that you can actually get stuff done. And keep on building even when you don't want to, and even when your caveman brain is like, I want that quick fix of dopamine that's gonna make me feel good. Yeah. You have to push past that, right? Adderall, drugs, weed, drinking a little bit while working, that helps. Like that helps. Don't listen to the kids. Like I'm not telling you. But there's a reason why business owners and like what's that Wolf of Wall Street movie, right? Yeah. There's a reason why there's a big drug culture and drinking culture. And with businessmen and people making money. Yeah. And it's because
go, right?
Yeah, and they have to keep that dopamine cycle up when they're doing really boring, monotonous, non-sexy shit.
Yeah. What's the
really non-sexy
movie with the
Quaaludes?
Limitless.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Kind of like that, right? Where it's just like you kind of just aware and you know you gotta keep going.
You take a pill and suddenly you're aware of your surroundings and you just elevated, right? Yeah. You know, those actually exist. Not to that degree, but yeah. I'm surprised you haven't done that.
I actually was just watching some videos on it yesterday. I'm not even lying.
Yeah, no, I think it was more like the
$400
construction dude.
Yeah.
It just like was.
Just wake up. Yeah. Okay.
I'm looking for an alternative to Adderall that's not as addictive. Mm-hmm. Anyways, whole other conversation.
Well, here's the question for you. All right, so now you're focused on sobriety, right? So there's going to be a shift for you.
Yeah.
What is the focus as far as no longer, just for example, taking Adderall and you're investing? You're going to think differently. You're not going to do things the same as you once were.
Yeah, so I started investing. I started the businesses that I started, except for the investment firm, without Adderall. However, as more and more stuff happened, it kept on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I couldn't handle it all. So then it was like, I need that magic pill. Okay. And that's kind of like where things, so now I'm taking a step back. Number one, I'm just letting myself do the bare minimum right now and let my brain chemistry go back to kind of like normal levels. And that's been really hard because like I had to throw away the pills. I did it really dramatic. I'm a dramatic person. I was driving on the highway. I got back from Denver. I went and grabbed my pills and my weed and shit. And I was driving up in my car and I was like, this has to be the only way. So I rolled down the window, you know. I don't know why I'm rolling, but like I pressed the button for my window to go down and then I just chucked it out in slow motion in my bed. Like I saw 60 pills flying in front of my face. Anyways, there's probably some dead birds or something. Man. They ate that shit, they're fucking flying. Anyways, it was rough. I don't know where I'm going with any of this. No, that's why I'm ADHD, and that's why I was taking fucking pills, man.
All right, so talk about how you're taking Adderall, and now you're on this
sober cleanse /
journey.
Adderall.
You're on this journey, right? So you're gonna do things differently. You have to figure that out for yourself. You kind of answered my question already.
Yeah,
taking a step back.
Where you at mentally with that right now?
Yeah,
it's rough.
Struggling, right?
Yeah, I'm struggling, but I'm trying to get myself. I'm trying to like be like, okay.
So did you pick up like another like I would say hobby, or is this something to keep you?
Hobby, like drug hobby.
No. What do you like? What's your?
Where am I putting my focus now? I do have a list. I put at the same day that I did all that. I put together a goal list, and I was like, the next 60 days, this is the stuff that I really want to focus on, work on. Yeah. Only a couple of those things have to do with making money. A lot of that has to do with my family, social, personal life, stuff like that. So I have my to-do list, and then what I'm trying to do right now is be like, okay, I'm going to be okay doing the bare minimum for everything right now. And I'm kind of set up in a way with my personal investing where I can kind of do that. The business, I'm kind of taking a step back and let my partner handle some more stuff. And then with the investing thing, I've kind of slowed down being able to delegate some stuff. I'm still working on stuff that I find really fun and engaging. So I'm able to kind of take a step back a bit and be like, I'm going to give myself space, figure out my own personal shit for the next month, and then come back into it. Hopefully stronger, better, whatever. Yeah.
I know you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Also trying to get my weight back up because I'm skinny as fuck.
You suck. All right, so here's a question for you. With everything that we've talked about, one thing that I'm wondering about is, again, just going back to somebody who's interested in investing, like they want to get into the game. You need to have a level head, right?
Yeah.
But that won't always be the case. There are going to be moments where you do get emotional, or you do get that first hit of dopamine, right? Like you get some money, like off the rip.
And then everything's, nothing compares.
But then suddenly you could be down bad, and then you're trying to make your way up, or you make more money, and then you got to deal with that sort of pressure. So just as you said, all right, take a little pill, or you might do a little, something.
Yeah.
Even when you're just starting out, you're just getting into the game. How do you keep a level head? Like, what would be? I guess I'm wondering, like, what strategy would you have in place for someone who's getting into the game, wants to invest, but they don't want to get into like any sort of drugs. They want to keep a level head, but they also don't want to get too emotional. Like they don't want emotions to make their decisions. Yeah,
really good question. So I would say one of the things that I would look at, like when you first start anything, is because you're always going to hit that point. Because all businesses making money is just solving problems and risk. So managing risk, solving problems, that's how you make money. But you're always going to hit those walls. Like it's just like every day you're hitting new walls, right?
Yeah.
So you have to find something really deep inside of you that's going to keep you motivated and help you push past when you hit those walls repeatedly. And that's really, really hard to find. So I would say before anybody starts anything, take some time, take a step back, look inside yourself and be like, what is that thing that's going to help pull me past like those moments that are going to come in the future? Like, what is the big picture plan? Where do I want to be in 5 years? And what is that thing that's going to be my rock when I want to quit or when I'm keep on hitting that wall or I'm struggling? So I would say that's more important than the actual work and even the actual way you're going to make your money is finding that thing that's going to motivate you and keep you going. When dude, you have to just do so many unsexy things to make money. When you think of money,
no, that's true.
You think of sexy shit, right? You think of like what I was talking about, the Instagram, like the models.
That's something that I was going to ask you as well. So you talk about focus on go within yourself, figure out what it is that's motivating for you, right? Like, what's the thing that's going to get you past all of this nonsense? With some of the kids that get into these kids that get into. Micah and I, we have these conversations, and one word will set him off. Just talking about a Lamborghini. The parent want to tell him about.
What about the Lambo? Dude, I've had so many rants.
So, a lot, there's a meme out there, when, W-E-N, and that basically means somebody going like, okay, when are we doing this, or when is this going to happen? And the main one that you hear is, when Lambo. Shortened, it means, when am I going to get my Lamborghini? So going back to my question, as far as, figuring out what it is that's going to drive you, that's going to get you past these walls, does it have to be further than something that's materialistic?
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Okay.
It's not about, if that's your end goal, you're going to struggle real hard, and you're going to, be a rough person to be around. So it has to be deeper than that. You have to dude, for me, it was, there were a couple different things, but one of the things, after I lost that 5K, all I had to my name at the time, I had 2 jobs, but and I was living paycheck to paycheck, still, whatever. So living paycheck to paycheck still was just going really, really rough, But all I had for assets were a bunch of my dad's guns. My dad had a ton of guns. He had a lot of guns when he passed. And that's all I had. So I sold some of those guns. I kept a few. I kept a few, but I sold a lot of them. And that money was so important because my dad didn't put that money, like he didn't save for college. He didn't like put money aside. Like my dad's dopamine fix was anytime he felt depressed or sad or whatever, he bought another gun. That was his thing.
Yeah.
But he didn't like invest in my future, his future, nobody. Like he just bought guns.
Yeah.
For what? You can only carry like 1 or 2 guns, man. You can't carry around a fucking locker with 70 guns, you know, at the end of the world, just dragging a pile of guns around, man. You can't do that. But my dad was not very practical, but that was how he grew up. He was a farm boy, whatever. That's a whole different thing. But those guns were important to him. Therefore, me selling what was his most prized possession was important to me. And so I made another 5K off of selling those guns. But I was like, this time with that 5K, I am not going to fucking lose that 5K. Like that was practice. It was a good warm up. This time. And so that was one of the things that kept me going. Like, you know, you have to push yourself past, you know, like, dude, there've been so many nights where it's like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and I don't want to work anymore, and I'm just tired. And when you're first starting, like, you have to, like, push yourself past that point. And you don't want to, but you have to. And that's what you got to grab inside you. Like, you can't, like, no more looking at your phone, no more scrolling, no more YouTube videos. Like, you have to have a plan. You have to stick to the plan. And you have to have the motivation to stick to the plan, even when nobody like sees it. It's not sexy. You're in your PJs. You know, it's 12 o'clock midnight. You're alone on the couch, and you got to push past, and you got to do that again and again and again and again and again.
You're putting in the work.
Yeah.
Not only are you putting in the work, but it's a challenge.
You might fail.
Yeah.
You still have to put in the work even after.
Just as you say, it's not sexy. No one's looking at you. No one's watching you and being like, "Oh yeah, you're doing great." It's on you.
Exactly.
Nice.
Painful though.
Sure. But you've had some wins.
Yeah.
Not only that, but I mean, I know that you've had your moments where you've struggled.
Yeah.
But in the times that you've actually pushed through some of the walls, it's been rewarding.
Yeah. It took me like 2.5 years to get those wins though.
Yeah.
So it took me from 2017, it took me till almost 2020 to make my first 100K. From 2020 to 2021, somewhere in there, middle of 21, so actually 2019. It was the end of 2019 to middle of 2020. Went from 100K to just under $1 million. And now I'm at like 270,000, I think, somewhere in there.
Okay.
So I'm down like, I don't know, like 600,000 somewhere in there. 670. But that last summer, it was fucking crazy. I had days where I was like up 100, down 100, up 100, down 100. Dude, that fucks with you on so many levels. And also, it's not like I changed my lifestyle. It wasn't like I started like balling out. It wasn't like the money was like real yet. Because I didn't pull it out. If you pull out a mill, taxes on that is $500,000.
Damn.
Okay, so that you're not a millionaire anymore, right? You just lost $500,000. Everybody wants their cut, and you know $500,000 is nice, but it's not that like life changing. I mean, it is life changing, but it's not like that vision that I have in my head of what I want. You know what I mean? Because like that's a condo, that's a house. That's you know maybe like a Lambo or something, but it's not like that's maybe my kid's college education. But I want to make 10 million. I want to start another company. I want to do this. Like
it's rich. It's not wealth.
Yeah, and also pulling it out is one thing. Leaving it in there and looking on the phone, but not changing your lifestyle at all. Yeah, that's fucking. It's a whole different thing.
Damn.
That's a level of security.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It feels good on a level of security. Like you feel good. Like you're like okay, I have this if I need it.
Yeah.
But I'm still making my money from the moving company. That's all I'm touching.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot to digest.
We might need a part 2.
Yeah, man, I lost track of time.
We definitely, Micah, we need you to come back. There's a story that I want you to tell. I know it, but I know the world doesn't know it. But it's about how you had the chance to get some Bitcoin at a very, very cheap price.
Fuck.
But we'll save that for another.
Can I please tell now?
If you want, if you got time.
Yeah. Okay, so it was 2013. I came back from New Zealand. I was working medical missions, nonprofit, broke as fuck. Had 200 and some bucks to my name, and I was sitting in my basement, chilling. I was not even sitting in my own basement. I was sitting in my friend's basement, and I was sleeping on like a little futon thing there, just hanging out there for a couple weeks. And I remembered Bitcoin. Because some guy had talked about it, and I went on Coinbase. And this wasn't like Coinbase how it is today. This was like a shitty fucking MySpace version, man. They had like glitter spinny things on top. Like it was just junk. And I remember looking at it, and Bitcoin was like, I think 37 bucks or maybe like 40 something. It was cheap.
Damn.
Like fucking cheap. And I remember looking at it, and I remember trying to like, I was looking at my PayPal, I was looking at how much money I had. And then you had texted me earlier that day. Being like, hey man, you want to go out to Sally's or some bar in uptown? And I was like, Bitcoin or going out with Ro? Bitcoin, going out with Ro. And of course I chose going out with you, man. Like, you're my boy. So yeah, no, I didn't buy the Bitcoin, didn't think about it again until 2017. When I checked the price, I was like, damn. But those beers that night was good. It was a good time. We had a really good time. Totally worth it. It was worth it, man. Great fucking time.
It was a good time.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Oh god. Let's wrap this up. Last call. Last call. We just do final thoughts, reflection of the conversation. E, I'm gonna kick it off with you, sir. Where to start?
This is a lot of information.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start. My last thing is there a beginner's guide cheat sheet to investing, and where can I find it?
I'll send you over some stuff.
Because I need to figure this shit. I need to figure this shit out, man. Because
You're feeling it now, right?
Yeah. But overall, man, this has been dope, dude. I'm like, we haven't caught up in a while, man.
Yeah,
it was
good to see you, man.
I'm glad you came through. Even like, to hear about you, the sobriety and stuff, I'm hoping that's, that goes well for you and shit like that, man, for real.
If it goes bad, I'm sure you'll know too.
But, yeah, man, I just, just keep it going, man, and keep killing it, man. And
Thanks, man, I
you for coming
appreciate
through,
that.
man, for real.
Appreciate that.
I definitely want to give you props because I always talk to you about anything, anything,
Yeah, we both do.
especially when it comes to just understanding how to be an investor. And I can't tell you how happy it makes me to see you go from that boy to a grown man, and like you've had your hurdles, you have your trials and tribulations, but you're still pushing through. I might be big, homie, but there are things that you do that I'm like, I need to be like that. So I'm very proud of you, man.
Right back at you, man.
So,
I feel that way.
Kudos,
100%.
You're doing
man.
wonderful.
Your friendship, yeah, you've no idea. Brothers, bro.
Yeah. Overall, though, I like everything that you said, but especially about the hurdles. It's not just you have some money, you invest, and then it'll grow, or you're gonna have some up and down. Like there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. It's not just numbers. It can affect you emotionally. It's gonna fuck with you mentally.
What really stood out to me was that, you say, you see this money, but you got to maintain that lifestyle you've been maintaining. You can't let that,
Can't let it get to you.
Yeah.
Can't let it change you. That's right.
And that's one thing I really like. Yeah, that definitely, because I can see that going bad. I can see that. You
can fuck up real quick.
Yeah, man. All that hard work.
Yeah, years gone.
Yeah.
Shit. Mytling, any last call for you? Final thoughts?
Dude, I just appreciate both of you. I know it's been a minute. Like, I know that, I was pushing this off because, I've been struggling talking about money and just, about this whole process. But I just appreciate you guys, you reaching out and just you putting this all together and everything. It really means a lot. You just have no idea. It's really nice to be able to verbalize this and also share, but also this is kind of a big moment because I haven't really shared a lot of this with a lot of different people. So I just appreciate you guys giving me the space to do this, putting this together, and for just being both of you who you are. Man, it's awesome. It's really good to see both of you.
Yeah, man.
As well.
Too, bro.
Thank you, bro. That's the Symposium podcast.
Yeah.
Man. That's what we're here for. All right, man. Everyone, This is the Symposium Podcast, episode 54. We greatly appreciate you tuning in, listening to us. If you've watched the video, seeing me pop a bottle and spilling all over myself.
That will be a clip. That will be a promo clip. That will be a promo clip for Tuesday. You better believe it. Between that and I hope I got any of that other stuff.
Dude, it's still the wall.
All right, y'all. And we are signing off, man. Symposium Podcast. Check us out on the socials. Wright, Romero.
Winter Coat Roams, Micah Mytling.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, everybody. Until next time, we out.